Hey there everyone, welcome to yet another Lies of P video, and in this one let's talk about some of the weapons in the game. Namely, I'd like to list some of my favorite weapons I found so far and tested for various builds and combinations that just work really well, whether you are motivity, advance or technique, and on top of it also have some really nice synergies with the amulets available. So with that said, here are my top 5 weapons to build around in Lies of P. So first and foremost, of course I can't skip mentioning the electric coil that you can find very early in the game from the wandering merchant on the streets, and while this weapon might not be the most powerful option in the game, it's definitely in the top picks for an easy playthrough thanks to it simply being an electric weapon to use against all the puppets in the game, but also against any other enemy since electric blitz increases stagger and damage dealt, which is useful no matter who you fight. The electric coil is a fairly standard weapon with a very balanced moveset. It's not slow, not fast, but just right, and for at least half of the game, just by upgrading it you can dominate most bosses and enemies. While in late game, thanks to its Rush Smash Fable art, you'll be able to deal very respectable damage and fast if you build for Fable arts, which frankly, I don't see any reason not to do so far with how powerful these P-Organ upgrades are. So whichever build you're going for, electric coil is possibly one of the best early weapon choices to go for until around half of the game where build variety opens up. Next is another early weapon, the Greatsword of Fate, which is one of the starting choices for Lies of P, and what makes this weapon so very good is its handle, the Fate handle, which has the absolute defense Fable art. If you've ever thought about making a tank build for Lies of P, or you'd like a very defensive and more chill playthrough that's less reliant on your reflexes and you can prepare better for those nasty fury attacks, this is the handle you should build around. While it's not going to be a powerful base for damage builds, I've been building and testing tank characters, and absolute defense seems to be the most chill option for a more traditional Dark Souls-like gameplay with its on-demand perfect block, as all you have to do is activate your 1 Fable cost defense and you'll perfect block anything that comes your way, including the Red Fury attacks. This combined with the P-Organ upgrade to restore health on a perfect guard is incredibly powerful for a block-based build, and with a heavier blade, it will restore all your guard regain immediately. I've been trying several other weapons, but if you're planning to make a chill tanky build, absolute defense seems to be the way to go. Next weapon of choice is a combination of the big wrench and the Crot Police Baton that I've already made a video for, my one-shot motivity build guide, that combines the head of the wrench with the handle of the baton to do some crazy damage up to 10,000 against enemies, one-shotting even mini-bosses. The big wrench is one of the heaviest weapons in the game, while also being one of the hardest hitting ones due to its slowness, but what makes it incredible is its level 3 charge Fable art called Patient Smash. Apart from this art doing just really high damage, it also seems to have super armor on it, so if you can stand damage, you won't get hit out of charging your moves even from Red Fury attacks. This is combined with the Crot Police Baton handle, which is a normal fast-hitting hilt, but its Fable art strike chance increases your next attack's damage by at least 50%, allowing you to deal the final monstrous strike with your big wrench if prepared properly. Of course, the Police Baton handle works with any blade type attached to it, but it's the biggest boost to a single hit in the whole game, and so it deserves a spot in the top 5. The big wrench can be found in a chest in the cave after Vanini's factory, and the Police Baton is a reward drop from a police puppet very early in the game. A lot of people's favorite, the Two-Dragon Sword, also has a spot in my list, as this weapon is just nuts and is potentially the most fun weapon in the whole game for those who prefer fast, stylish weapons and dodging instead of guarding. Unfortunately, this weapon can only be bought from a pretty late game boss, so it's not an early choice, but it can be enjoyed for the second half of the campaign or even New Game Plus. In general, the weapon has a really fast and cool moveset combined with excellent damage that can have an ass scaling with technique, but it has special features such as the heavy charge attack being a perfect block and an attack at the same time if you time it just right, that synergizes perfectly with the Conquering Amulet that increases your damage after a perfect guard. Along with it, it also has a Fable art that allows you to dodge forward and attack, which in my opinion is the safest and easiest way to avoid damage in the whole game once you unlock the amulet that lets you dodge even fury attacks. So the Two-Dragon Sword is just an overall really powerful and stylish weapon that also offers one of the safest dodge type defense in the game if you like to be nimble rather than blocking attacks. Finally, the last weapon on my list is Uroboros' Eye, another extremely late boss weapon unfortunately, but one of my favorites to build a technique character around, as while the weapon has really cool moveset and even the blade Fable art to throw the chakram at enemies for a powerful ranged attack, the reason it is in my top 5 is the handle art that spins up the chakram, and it will cause each of your strikes to hit multiple times on an enemy as the blade saws through them, so a single attack will result in multiple actual hits, which is the perfect combination with the Arm of God amulet that increases your damage by around 5% according to my tests each time you hit an enemy, up to 20%, which is a single hit with a chakram thanks to the spinning blade fable art it has. This is the only weapon in the game that can so reliably and quickly build up this amulet's effect, which also happens to be one of the most powerful amulets in the game, so naturally it deserves a spot in the top 5 as it opens up some fantastic build choices not only for pure damage, but also applying elemental effects with its multiple hits quickly. So those are my top 5 weapons in Lies of P that I recommend building a character around if you're looking for some unique interactions and combinations, as all of them are incredibly fun, but at the same time are quite distinct from each other in playstyle, so they can be 5 different playthroughs even. Hope this video was fun and useful, maybe also gave you some cool ideas for a new character, but do let me know which are your top 5 weapons so far in Lies of P, or whether you agree or not with my list. Thank you for watching everyone, appreciate all the support on Lies of P videos, but that's a wrap for now, take care, and I'll see you all later.